think if like maybe like that, and then move this here. There we go. Now we're cooking on gas.
Now we're cooking on ass.
Now
we're cooking on ass.
Cooking on my ass?
What do you know about cooking on ass, Ian Gary? Ian Gazer. Cooking on ass.
Everyone's been cooking on his wife, apparently. God bless that man.
All the people online who are like, yeah, well, if your wife was as hard as Ian Gary's, you'd be a cuck too.
Is that what people are saying?
I'd cuck Ian Gary's wife. She's mid-40s.
I think, I think he's bet a lot on the line with that horse. Like, I think, like, I don't think it's going to end well, mate. I really don't.
No. It never does.
Yeah, I mean, did you see the thing I sent to you about Adesanya's girlfriend?
Oh yeah,
she was
trifling hoe.
She was trying to get like half of his income, well, like half of his like wealth, and then she ended up having to pay $600,000.
Half is crazy.
That's mad, that. Because you don't have to be married in New Zealand. Anyway, let me know when you want to start.
Well, it's just one of those fucking. This is a rolling start.
Oh, is it a hot rolling start to the FlatCap podcast?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not too sure what I want to call it, so I'm not going to actually name it. Okay. But the podcast has begun anyway, so we're underway.
Hello, folks.
Hello, cunts. How are you doing?
Hello, cunts.
So we've got a few things to get underway on the topic, but to be honest, before we crack on with that, I want to hear about you and all your footballers going into your shop first.
Aha! So yeah, so I work in a branch of Waitrose in the northeast. I dare not say where, but
an affluent area.
An affluent area indeed. And the kind of one of the perks of the job, if you can call it a perk, is the footballers that come in from my team or our team of Newcastle United, and yeah, it's good. And actually, you have an idea of what the footballers are going to be like, but actually, they're very, very friendly. You know, had a nice chat with Callum Wilson. You know, Alexander Isak was quite nice. Yeah, and
I bet you'd go and talk to them on purpose.
I called out Jacob Murphy, and he looked like really fucked off about it. Like,
what did you say?
I just said, Jacob, you're a legend, and he just didn't even acknowledge it.
I thought you meant you called him out on some bullshit or something.
Nah.
Hey, yo, Jacob Murphy, I'm calling you out, boy.
Mate, he was about 5 foot.
Unfortunately, it's got to the point where I know barely any footballers these days. I'm starting to get back into us. I used to support Chelsea, but I've switched over to Burnley now.
You supported Chelsea?
Yeah, only because
Why did you support Chelsea?
Because my godbrothers did when I was growing up. I didn't know anything else, so that's just what was the crack. And then I think it's more loyal to stay with it than change it up all the time, because they started with Arsenal and then Chelsea, but I really like Frank Lampard, so I was like, hell yeah, okay, I'll support them as well. And then they changed to Newcastle United. I was like, well, I'm not so flippant. I'm going to stay in my camp. But then as I got older, like, I've never ever been to watch them play or anything, because obviously I live in Northumberland. So, but my dad is an avid Burnley supporter because that's where he comes from. So now I support Burnley. We've actually been to a couple of matches already. So
Burnley are in the Championship, aren't they?
They've just got into the Premier League. So
have they?
It's going to be interesting. We're going to watch them get fucking raped all season. It's going to be wonderful. Big fat rosy cheeks on them, just watching them getting blasted from the bleachers. Just like, oh yes, this is why we pay 40, 50 quid a ticket. Come watch them get slapped by Liverpool and fucking Man U and all that crap.
But you will get that one victory, and it will taste like the poison chalice of hope.
Yeah,
basically.
It'll taste like the fucking cordial that's been sat at the bottom in the cupboard for like 6 months, and you pour it in, dilute that shit, and it's nuclear powered. It's going to be fucking excellent.
Yeah.
But
God bless Burnley.
Yeah, well, and the ticket prices go up as well, so it's like I didn't quite understand, because I've never supported anyone that's in the Championship.
Yeah.
And I kind of didn't understand why people wanted to get promoted, because once you get promoted, now you're in the Premier League, and you're just getting absolutely slapped around every week. And so you go from winning every single match bar like 2 all season, like trouncing everybody, and it's like, oh, this is great. I know when I turn that TV on or go and pay that ticket and sit in the stands, that I'm going to see a draw or a win. Yeah. But they go into the Premier League, and now you just follow them around and just fucking cry when they get battered.
I know.
So, but it's all about money, isn't it? That's what they want to do. So, But anyway, football.
As a
shit.
Newcastle fan, I can confirm this from Saudi boys, mate. Saudi money.
That's why I like Newcastle now, because I think they've really earned the new success that they've been having.
The fan support over the years of the bad abuse. So this isn't a football podcast, by the way, but it's your faith. Our faith has been kind of rewarded being a Newcastle fans after having such a shit time, and they fully deserve the success they get. We got Champions League this year, so 3-6 points to all the European teams. But
Chelsea's versus PSG in the Club World Cup, so I might actually. I'm actually deign to watch that and do something. But anyway, we're not actually here to talk about football. We're here to talk about MMA.
Indeed.
Because this is supposed to be an MMA podcast, but, there's going to be tangents because that's just the kind of human being I am. My mind doesn't work in one straight line. So, last weekend... I really, brother. In an ideal world, would have loved to put it in on that Sunday, the day after. My mind was racing about it. I was like, well, I could have got something on wax right then and there.
Yeah.
But we're kind of a week behind the time. But the dust has been left to settle. We've had time to reflect, time to think about what's been going on. And I genuinely do think that we have just entered a new era of MMA, or at least we're in the in-between phases of the next era of MMA. When you think of like the MMA as it has been, as we've been watching it, the era where you've got, we in this last few years we've had guys like Volk, Izzy kind of lost it a bit, but what would you think the era before that was? When you think of the fighters, who was that before that?
Before the era that we're in now?
Yeah, that we've just been in.
I think...
Do you think about it as like Chuck Liddell as far back as that? Or do you think about it as like...
I think Chuck Liddell was
That's like a couple of generations ago,
That's a couple of generations ago. There's one fighter particularly I look at, post-McGregor, is actually the Adesanya era.
Yeah.
It might sound a bit cringy, but if you follow me with that tangent, we saw a load of phenomenal strikers and kickboxers, not just in like the middleweight division, but there was like striking was still kind of changing. You were seeing kind of fighters who were able to switch stance very easily. And more broadly, you saw fighters who are a jack of all trades. They weren't specialists.
Yes.
We still always had we still had specialists, particularly with the Russian Islamic fighters.
Yes.
But like, I think more in this era now, we are seeing truly completed MMA fighters.
No, I agree. I think when people think of like, I remember if you go back, people were talking about guys like Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz as being guys who were, they weren't just a karate fighter or just a
wrestler.
That is long gone, but I think that people have had their like, okay, this guy's an MMA fighter, but we know what he's going out there to do. Like Izzy. Yeah, he's much more well-rounded than a UFC 1, 2, 3 up to 10 fighter.
Yeah,
but he's still going at a kickbox. We do have guys that have been like, they've got a predominant style, but guys like, who we're going to be talking about the most here, Topuria. Although he is very hands-heavy, very boxing-heavy, that dude he's a fucking threat everywhere in a way that we just haven't seen. Like I could see him like pulling off like a submission on a guy like Arman Suyukin, on a guy like Islam, and not being incredibly surprised. And that, I mean, if he did that, that would be the ultimate thing, really. If he could submit one of those guys,
his own game at 155,
or just beat him on the ground, just finish them on the ground.
Yeah,
that would be incredible.
Well, even guys like because the only fight he had at 155, which was with Jai Herbert, and I think Jai Herbert was trying to grapple him. But he looked fine, really. He at no point was he ever in serious danger. When you've got a guy that's bigger than you, you'd think obviously there'd be a threat there, but he looked fine, and he didn't look like he was in any danger. He kept calm, and he also survived a head kick directly to the face.
Who did?
Topuria did in the Jai Herbert fight, and he came back and he knocked him out.
I haven't seen that match.
Oh mate, you should watch it. It's a good. It was a good test of his limits, because there was a lot of questions about him because he was still a very fresh fighter as well at that stage. But I think he became a real contender, and there were questions about him at 155. But obviously now, also I'd like to ask, is the Armin Sayuki in the fight for him?
Yeah, so I was watching some interview the day after. It was Topuria and a bloke and a woman in some media studio. It was very well put together. I don't know who those two are. Off the top of my head, but she was wanting ridiculous thing to say. This fucking idiot fucking woman was like, you should fight Justin Gaethje next. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Justin Gaethje's in a very weird place, but we definitely don't want to see him fighting Topuria next.
No.
But I think the only match next for him, 155, it just has to be Armin Sayuki.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Paddy Pimblett.
Do you think the Paddy fight's just ridiculous?
I don't think it's right because
does he even deserve to be there?
I don't think
after he beat Chandler.
No way.
No,
I think Chandler's not even a fucking top 15.
No, he's barely ranked.
Right now. Dude's won one fight in the UFC. I know he's won 2 fights in the UFC. And they've not aged that well. Like Dan Hooker, he's had a little bit of a resurgence yesterday, but he's a win 1, lose 2 fighter.
Yeah.
And then the other win he's got is over Tony Ferguson. Unfortunately, we know the story there. And this,
subject.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a soft spot.
But
you're right though.
Paddy Pimblett cannot beat Chandler. Yes, he beat him. He beat him very well. I think what was most impressive is that he beats him in a way that he over physicality him. Do you know what I mean? He just fucking
he manhandled him.
He did, which was good to see. But beating Chandler does not put you in there.
No,
I'm sorry. Beating Chandler is that gives you a top 5 fight next. I think he needs a couple more fights at least before he gets a chance at the strap. I know that UFC's probably want to push him, but I think if they were to put him against Topuria now, it would be a grave mistake. And it would not make sense money wise either, because they'd be dampening the name of Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah,
because Paddy Pimblett, I'm sorry, you'd get absolutely starched against Topuria. There's nothing about his game.
We've been saying this for a while.
Topuria, all he needs, Paddy gets landed on every fight.
He gets hit.
He gets chinned in every single fight. And we know what happens when Topuria chins a cunt.
Yeah.
He's going down. So
he's just getting clocked.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good, bro.
I don't know if you saw the Tom Aspinall conversation he was having with Paddy, and Paddy was saying about in Oliveira's strategy, he was like, he looks so hittable, and he was like, I don't know what the game plan was. I was like, bro, you get hit in every single fight, and your chin is always in the air in every single fight. So I don't know if you have the authority to
It's like he holds his chin. It's not just his chin's exposed. He sticks his chin up in the air. It's crazy.
Because he throws wild haymakers at people. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's exciting that he's trying to press forward and to knock out his opponent. But
it would be one of the greatest upsets in UFC history. There's nothing about Paddy's game that is okay, that's where he's going to beat him.
Yeah,
that's where he has.
Do you even think his ground game's not strong enough?
No.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
No.
I think that Topuria's just too good on the ground, man. These people forget that he started off as a wrestler.
Did he?
He's a fantastic wrestler. He's only learned striking later on.
Because he looks like such a dominant striker. His boxing acumen and his aggressiveness.
Well, I think what he's done is he's kind of realised it's okay, well, I'm a short guy. Yeah. He was a short guy in featherweight, and now he's going to be a real short guy for lightweight. So I think he realises that my limbs aren't particularly long, my legs aren't long. He never kicks, he never throws any kicks, and he just boxes. He boxes, gets on the inside and boxes. So I think he's been able to compartmentalise the training that he's done over the last decade or whatever, and just crispen those hands until they're like a bag of fucking kettle chips. And just focused on them. And I think that's why he's able to look so levels above everyone else. He just doesn't bother kicking, which is
it's just bizarre, isn't it?
And we're talking about him being well-rounded, but he's kind of just not bothering with the kicking game. I think he throws a couple, just to set up the strikes and get in on the inside, but. Yeah, he's not there. He's not one of these guys hamming in body kicks and chopping the legs or anything like that.
No, not at all. Do you think the comparisons to McGregor's rise are comparable to Topuria's?
I think that's uncanny.
Yeah.
It's uncanny, the resemblance. If you think about the road, it's quite hard to actually admit, but I think that maybe you could say that we've had all these fighters that have tried to do the same thing as McGregor.
Yeah.
Once McGregor came along and did the whole double champ thing, everybody's tried to replicate that since. It's like been the path to the ultimate like pinnacle of the sport that has just been replicated. Pretty much everyone who's got a belt has at some point tried to move up. You've had, Izzy, Volk tried it. Cejudo as the most successful, getting 3. There's a bit of an asterisk behind all of that, and it can be questioned. But and obviously DC was the second one immediately after Conor McGregor.
But I don't have a problem with that comparison at all. Like, I think, I don't know, but it's given the future of where he's going and the guy he's going to have to fight of Islam Makhachev is so exciting.
If you were to think about it like a story, like you've got a guy who nobody kind of wants him to win immediately because the whole Paddy debacle, everybody was just like, oh yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Because everybody was riding Paddy's dick on the come up.
Yeah.
So you had a big load of haters coming at him, but you also had some really fervent fans. He's come up, he's finished pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
He's really put his stamp on the division, and then he's won by first round knockout.
Yeah.
In I think his last 2 bouts of my first round. His last one at least.
Did he knock out Max Holloway in the first round?
Second.
In the second round. But no one had knocked out.
No.
Or even dropped Max Holloway at that point.
He's displaying. Can you remember what people used to say about McGregor? He's displaying like a power we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And that's the exact same thing. But I think the power is even greater. So this is what I was going to say. I do think the comparisons are valid. And if we're totally honest, it's maybe not had the same overall cultural impact around the world. It's very different. It might be in Spanish-speaking countries and Georgia and all that kind of areas. I think that it probably will be as culturally relevant. Culturally relevant. As McGregor's stuff. I think he's actually done it better.
Really?
I think he's done everything Conor McGregor did, but even better.
Yeah.
He's starched guys completely and utterly. He's had no like, oh bloody hell, he looked like he was about to get chinned. Like
at no
Chad
point
Mendes,
did he look shaky at all.
There's bits, and if you were to watch the Chad Mendes fight, there's bits on it where like, he might be getting had. He might be getting had. Gets up, Chad gasses out, finishes him. And then obviously the Nate Diaz things and stuff like that. He's had none of those hiccups, none of those road bumps. He's
consistent.
Completely fucking popped up and fucking destroyed everyone they put in front of him, and here he is, the double champ. Obviously relinquished the belt, which I can understand because UFC's not trying to do that stuff anymore, which I think is wise. But he's still the people's double champ. Volk's kind of just babysitting that belt until he decides to hop back now.
Until Tapuri decides to come back.
Which is annoying for Volk because, like, at the back of his mind, it's almost
really
just like a gifted. It's a gifted belt, really, isn't it? Which is a shame. It's a shame when the lineal champion of a division kind of leaves and that belt just kind of feels like it doesn't have the same worth for quite a while until that new champion really establishes himself, which I think is going to be hard for Volk to do because he's already lapped his division so much before he had that fight.
Yeah, 100%.
That now it's like, how's he going to distinguish and prove himself now that everybody's like, yeah, he really is the champ of that division? There's always going to be that asterisk until he retires, unfortunately.
It's very hard to see where he goes from here because, as you say, he's already lapped the division. But I don't know. I'll always find that line between featherweight and lightweight. It's because you fight like we've only ever seen one other fighter that could make it look that easy because the power is so defined between him, between Tapuri and McGregor. And you might well be right that he may be stronger than we think he is.
Tapuri is like McGregor. I mean, you see him funny, like his like little like warm up things while he stood in the cage is exactly identical to like McGregor's, the little wobbly thing.
Warm wobble shake.
It's exactly the same stuff. He's copied him in many ways.
Fast.
If only he's got to be fair, his grasp of the English language is really good now.
Oh yeah,
you see
solid.
him in interviews. It's really good. So I think if he was able to have that that first language advantage.
Yeah.
We could have sent a guy who's even more potentially culturally impactful than McGregor.
I'd love to see, and the UFC to me doesn't seem interested in this, but they've moved. It's part of a broader topic of how has the UFC changed, how has MMA changed. Do they want to build him as a star? Because like. I'd like to see them. I'd like to see them build Ilia Topuria as a star, and seeing as now he is a double champ, I think it would be great for them to do so. My microphone's going a little.
Yeah, we're just gonna have a little mini intermission.
Yeah.
We're just gonna fix a technical fault. Okay, and we're back again. Sorry about that. Johnny's mic was falling over.
Yeah, it just couldn't take me, bro.
There's some teething pains involved in this, but I've got a question to put for you, and I'm sorry if we didn't finish the last tangent. If we didn't finish the last tangent we were on, because I've forgotten what we're talking about. So we're saying Paddy Pimblett, he should not be next for Topuria. I think that's the wrong move. So. Who does Paddy Pimblett fight next then? Who do you think he should fight next? Let's have a look at the lightweight rankings.
Let's have a look at the rankings.
Where is Paddy Pimblett? Paddy Pimblett is ranked number 10. I wonder if... Yeah, okay. Well, Michael Chandler is not even ranked in the top 15.
Nah, he's not even there, bro.
Which is suitable because dude can't win a fight to save his life.
That's depressing to see.
I theorize he's not even interested in winning fights because I don't think the UFC would value him as like a champion. They value him as a guy who guys that they want to win get matched up against him. They beat him while he wails on them, and it's emphatic. The actual performance in the fight itself is entertaining, and I think that's the value of Michael Chandler, not as a guy who's potentially going to be a champion.
But just to add to that, I would say because I was very skeptical when Michael Chandler joined the UFC, but in his defense, you have never seen a boring Michael Chandler fight in any of his fights. Even 100%. If he's not won, yeah,
I think that is the value of Michael Chandler. Yeah. Or as Demetrius Johnson, let's call him Micro Chandler. I love Demetrius Johnson. He's actually become one of the guys that I listen to the most in the MMA YouTube space. But dude, he just cannot pronounce people's names. He's hilarious.
Yeah. Did you see the interview he did with MMA? Oh mate, it's gold.
They've got the Mighty Guru cast. They do it together on a bi-weekly basis. Yeah, it's really good. Those guys are the two powerhouses, I think, of long form MMA content these days.
Yeah, their fight analysis of it was really particularly from Guru's side as well, was really interesting. A guy with zero fighting experience.
Well, that's one of the things that's encouraged me to do this. Obviously, I've had a bit of experience and trained over the years and stuff, but I'm not an ex-UFC fighter. I'm not an ex-Cage Warriors fighter. I'm not any of that. And neither are you.
No.
So, but. MMA Guru coming from someone who's literally doesn't train, has never trained.
Yeah. And yet he had one of the most accurate fight picks.
Well, I think this is the thing, it's because he not absolves himself. He's completely surrounded by the sport all the time. He's watching it all the time. It's like for instance, it's like you don't need to be a Formula 1 racing driver to know all about Formula 1 and be able to talk about it, do you? Because there's very few Formula 1 drivers in the world. There's when you go on that track, how many is there? 12 or 20?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but you couldn't just say, hey, you can't have an opinion on Formula 1 because you haven't fucking driven a Formula 1 car. It's well, who the fuck has, dude?
Well, think about the hundreds of ugly cunts that watch football every day. It's the elephant in the room.
All these guys in pubs with bad hair. It's like, you haven't had a fucking sick haircut. You can't talk about football, bro. No, but it gives me confidence to be able to speak on the amount of useless information that's been gathered in my head from watching the sport obsessively for the last decade, pretty much. So
without fans just talking about the sport, it's nothing.
It is enough. Well, it's enough to just listen to fans talking about it who've got opinions from just watching it over the years. It's just like mates in it,
Yeah. But going back to your question of who the hell does he look at, actually, now that you've got the rankings up. I'm liking Paddy versus Dan Hooker. Quite liking that.
That would be a really good fight.
I'm looking at that top 10,
and that makes sense actually.
Yeah,
because that's a good fight for Paddy. They want to boost him. Okay, give him a striker who's a guy who's not known, a guy who's been submitted in the UFC a couple times.
Yeah,
someone that Paddy can probably get him to the ground. A bit longer in the tooth. That's actually you probably hit it out the park with the first suggestion. I think with that one, you've got Oliveira. I mean, where do we put him next? Ooh. I'd like to see him. I mean, he's fought Justin Gaethje. Poirier's fighting Max Holloway.
I think you can give Arman a leg up. I would maybe give Charles Oliveira Arman's Ayukian. That fight was.
Moicano's lost his last two, and then you've got a guy called Matthews Gamrot. Yeah. I think he's been he needs a good fight next. I think I'd like to see him against Charles Oliveira. I'd like to see Arman fight Topuria, and I'd like Islam Makhachev to just fucking get this welterweight fight out of the fucking way, get back the fuck to lightweight, so we can see Ilia Topuria separate his fucking Daggy Heed from existence. That feels like a slur. It isn't. It hasn't been defined as one yet, so I'm going to use it.
You've just got Justin Gaethje just chilling there at 5.
Yeah.
Do you think he's done? Do you think there's anything he can do next?
Justin Gaethje, I think, where was we put him? I'd like to see him against Moicano, I think.
That's a fun fight.
Yeah. Two guys coming off a loss. Everybody, 2 fan favourites.
Yeah, he's great. Moicano, he's great.
But if you hear about what the kind of things Justin Gaethje's saying at the minute, Justin Gaethje's demanding a title shot next, or he doesn't want to fight. That's ridiculous. Dude just got knocked out by Max Holloway.
Yeah,
who was a featherweight, who just got knocked out by the guy who's the champion. So I don't understand in what world. Yeah, you put on a great body of work, but you've had at least two title shots already.
Yeah, he had one against Makhachev and then one against Oliveira.
I don't say. I think if Gaethje won the title, he probably maybe defend it once and would fuck off. I think I don't see how that makes sense whatsoever. I think Justin Gaethje's got to fight a guy like a Moicano or something. It's unfortunate. I mean, maybe you can make him a case for him fighting a guy like Saryukian, a guy like Dariush or something like that. But I mean, these guys have got other fights that need to happen with those guys before. So I'd like to see him against like a Dariush or a Gamrot or a Moicano. Yeah, I think that's the next step for him. Obviously, we've got Poirier versus Max Holloway. That's coming up. I think that was like shadow announced, and I think somebody like Drickus was talking about it. Like that was
in classic UFC fashion. They did no promotional.
It was just an Instagram post.
It was an Instagram like we found out about it through secondhand information through Drickus Duplessis, or found it from a post that the UFC just put out, and there was no fanfare for it at all. One of the 2 most liked and fan loved fighters in the UFC.
The promotion is an absolute fucking shambles. What do you think about that one? I think it's a shit fight to make personally. I think it's a trilogy in which if
he's already beaten twice, hasn't he?
Yes, so if Max loses this one, he's 0-3 on 2 trilogies. Yeah, that's terrible. I wouldn't even set myself up for that. I would just. I think Max Holloway should probably go back down. But then, what do you do with Max Holloway?
Yeah, what do you do? Well, this is it.
Goes back down to featherweight, and what's he going to do with Volk? He's already fought the guy like 3 times.
This would be the 5th time.
Is it the 5th time?
I think it might be the 5th.
It's not the 4th, isn't it? I thought he had a trilogy with him. 0-3.
Well, he might.
There was one.
Haven't they fought 4 times?
No, I think this would be the 4th, which is just unbelievable. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
It's like
0-3.
This is the thing. You've got guys in divisions who've proved themselves to the utmost in their respective divisions. Yeah. Like you've got Alexander Volkanovski. If you look at that list, we've got Ilia Topuria. Yeah, he's moved out. I don't actually see him going back down to featherweight. I don't see that happening. No. So you've got Max Holloway. He's beaten him. Diego Lopez just beat him. Brian Ortega beat him. Yeah, Rodriguez beat him twice, I think. Yeah. And then you've got guys at the bottom like Movsar Evloev. For me, Movsar Evloev should probably be fighting Alexander Volkanovski next. We've got him there at number 7, but I think that's bullshit. I think he's better than all these guys. Yeah, I think that just the amount of losses.
He takes Ron Murphy and he takes Rodriguez.
Yeah,
it takes a lot of those guys. I think. I mean, I'm not too. I've maybe seen one of his fights, but I'm not too familiar with him. But
I think how long Brian Ortega has lasted in the top 5 of the featherweight division needs to be fucking studied. I have no fucking idea how he's done it.
He's had like very.
When was the last time he won a fight and he's still up there?
Oh my goodness, he won against. I mean, the thing that kind of put him back on the map was his fight with Korean Zombie, when Korean Zombie was at the tail end of his his career. It might have been the second to last fight he had, but yeah, it does need to be studied. He's managed to maintain that position through sheer inactivity, basically.
He's great. I mean, he's one of those last kind of guys who's like a real kind of specialist in there, but he's getting better with the striking, I think. But talking about a guy who actually is a real dangerous striker and somebody who's up and coming in that division, Gene Silva's really been popping up on the map recently. That guy's he's definitely got the fan pleasing style. I like to see him.
Absolutely.
I'd like to see him climb the rankings fast. If you're going to push guys, that's the kind of guy you want to push. He's excellent. I
think Arnold Allen deserves a good fight as well. Like Arnold Allen.
I think, did Arnold Allen have a title shot?
He fought Max Holloway and Max Holloway battered him. But I don't know. I think like see how he does against like you could put him against Musa Evloev or Laurent Murphy. Or even like the guys above him, which is Jean Silva. Like I think he's got potential to do well. Whether or not he's championship material, I don't know. I think there's only one guy who's from the Isles who's championship material, and he beat the guy without even fighting him, which is of course Tom Aspinall. So
I'd like to talk to you. What do you reckon the deadest
division
is in the UFC right now? In the men's, I don't even bother talking about the women's. The women's is absolutely dead in the water. I mean, who can name 5 female fighters right now?
Bro, I don't even know who's the bantamweight champion right now. I don't even know who it is. No, that's how bad it is.
Kayla Harrison's around looking like fucking... I'm not even going to finish that.
I think Zhang Weili's the strawweight champion at the moment.
Is she?
I think so.
What Rose Namajunas doing these days? She just...
Not fighting.
Well, it's just dead in the water, man. It really is. But as it pertains to the men's divisions, who do you think what's the worst division right now in the UFC? I think I know what I would say.
What's the worst division in the UFC right now? I've got a feeling you might say the light heavyweight division.
Yeah. I was going to say the light heavyweight division,
but the light heavyweights division's got issues because you're not a big fan of Pereira.
No, I do like Pereira, but I think
you're bored of him.
Yeah, but a little bit. Yeah, a little bit bored of him. I think that he's gone against the first good wrestler. And he's just got beat. And I think that was. I think he was a little bit protected in fighting in divisions where there just wasn't guys who nobody chained a fucking takedown on him ever.
Yeah,
nobody went for a high single, lost that ankle, picked him back onto a single, tried turn the corner or run the pipe or anything. Guys would just kind of like have a little go and go, oh, yeah, no, okay. I'll strike with you then. I'll just kickbox. Oh, I got knocked out.
They all played into his
yeah, it was crazy. It's almost like they were fucking told, hey, look, man, I'll give you an extra 50k if you don't try to take him down.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, but I think bantamweight's great right now. I think I think that
you're a fan of Marab?
Yes, I am, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got a soft spot for him. He's aggressive in his style.
He's not like the rest of these guys from a certain area of the world where they kind of have a certain style that is just to kind of shut people out. No. He just fucking runs over people and rags them around, and I love that about him.
He wants to finish the fight. Like he's not in it for point wrestling. Like... and
you certainly can't call him a nut hugger. I just like the way he takes the fight to everyone. My favorite fight that he's done is the way he completely shut out Umar Nurmagomedov. That was amazing.
Oh, it was amazing. It filled my veins.
I think that's definitely a good thing for that division. That outcome was what it was.
Yeah,
I'm still a little bit cut up about Sean O'Malley losing his 2 fights to them.
Yeah.
Sean O'Malley's kind of like my guilty pleasure of the UFC. I liked him from the start, man. Since those first Dana White Contender Series days where he slept someone in front of Snoop Dogg. From that point onwards, Mind Smash. It was like 120-pound vegan, fucking. I was just like slaughtering people in UFC.
Yeah,
that was a fan since then.
He's dynamic.
Really
He's accurate. Like his personality's good. Like and above like his unbelievable performance against Peter Yan. Like, and say what you will about Sean O'Malley, you can't say that the guy can't strike. Like you can't say that he can't strike.
Well, what
it's unbelievably technical.
Oh God, no! What I will say is that there is a good thing that's come out of him losing the belt, and that is the fact that we very well could see him having his best possible matchup in the whole division, which is the best fight you can make at bantamweight, which is Corey Sandhagen.
Yes, bro.
Sean O'Malley. That's going to be unbelievable. I think that's going to be probably the best striking match that we've seen.
It will be
in a long time.
Good.
I would have. I mean, in an ideal world,
roll in the first round.
TJ Dillashaw didn't rip his fucking shoulder to pieces. I would have loved to see TJ Dillashaw versus Sean O'Malley. I think that would have been amazing. If you look at where Sandhagen is, I think this is why I'm saying this. I think you look at that top three. You've got Merab, Petr Yan, and you've got Umar Nurmagomedov. I don't think Corey Sandhagen is going to be able to beat any of those. So the fact to get through to O'Malley if he was the champion.
Yeah.
But since O'Malley's lost the belt, he's already fought Peter Yan. He's either going to have to fight Umar or maybe Corey Sandhagen if Nurmagomedov is going to fight Peter Yan, which I think is the next thing that probably should be happening there. So yeah, we're probably going to get that matchup now, which is a really good thing. And I think that's going to be an excellent thing for the division.
Look at you making fight matches. You're doing a damn good job of it, you know.
Yeah, well, this is what this is all about, actually, to be honest, mate. All I want to do is be a matchmaker for the UFC, and all I'm going to do is protect strikers from wrestlers.
Just protect strikers just from elite level Dagestani wrestlers.
I'm just going to you're just going to see fighter removed every
removed from the rankings. I'll tell you who isn't being protected, though, for middleweight is DDP and Kaz Machimaev, which is a fight that we are finally getting.
I'm so happy about that.
I know.
I'm so happy about that. It's another thing. It's like Alex Pereira. It just hasn't made sense for too long. Someone needs to beat this guy for the love of Christ.
Mate, he's
just
like,
for MMA itself.
I've never seen like a greater anomaly like in fighting style of just failing upwards. It's
unbelievable.
Maybe I'm saying that and I'm doing DDP a disservice. Maybe he is an amazing fighter, but like the amount of damage that he took in the Strickland fight,
there has to be a limit to how much this guy can achieve with so little things making sense about him.
I know.
And I think I'm sorry, there's no way he wins against Hamzat.
No,
it's just too dynamic. I was watching a video just breaking down like some of the wrestling exchanges in Dricus's fights and things, and the way his kind of balance isn't particularly there. I just think that Hamzat's gonna chain, like take out.
It's gonna be relentless,
and he will get something on him. And it's just it's that's
gonna be a man handling a boy.
More or less.
Do you remember when
people talk about the strength, but I just think the strength is only going to be there for so long. He's going to get through it, and it's going to be an easy win for Hamzat. Bet the house. Absolutely bet the house.
Do you know anything about our welterweight champion, Jack Della Maddalena?
To be honest, I'm going to be completely upfront. I have never watched one of his fights.
No. I know he's from Australia, and that's about it.
Yeah, he's not really got the personality for it to push himself. I've never seen an interview with him. I think I've seen him speak a couple of times, and he just kind of gets on. MMA Guru's been going on about him for a little while now, and kind of riding the meat stick on that guy for quite a while. And he's turned up. He's turned up to be the champion, kind of out of nowhere. I didn't expect it to happen. He seems like a kind of like pillow-handed, volume striking boxer. That's kind of what it seems. I've never, he's kind of like. I don't know how many finishes he has, but
the Bilal Muhammad fight with him? Because I didn't actually watch it. I mean, like this kind of like
I had this feeling. So I get these feelings when matchups come up, and I only need to watch a few clips and see the styles of the guys and the way that they kind of like move in certain situations to get this feeling of like, oh, I kind of think he's gonna win. And sometimes I get these feelings and they go against the fighters I like and I ignore them.
Yeah.
But then they kind of happen. I was like, so maybe I should kind of trust these feelings a little bit more. And I had that feeling when I saw highlights and clips of JDM against Bilal. Yeah. And I know how Bilal kind of like, his defense is to kind of just cover up and back up, and it's striking. He's dog shit.
Yeah. Do you think he just couldn't handle JDM's aggressiveness of coming forward?
I just think it was just the way he's putting the techniques together, the combinations together. It's just staying there enough to land enough shots and being in the right places to not get tangled up in the Bilal web.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought Bilal. I just had a feeling he was going to lose that fight, and he did. So you should listen to me because I know
it was a short and sweet chapter for
and I'm
very
Mohammed. Fucking glad that.
I don't think anyone's.
Nobody likes that man. There's no reason to like that man. He did himself a disservice at every single turn. He's just a little snidey bastard.
He's just boring. Like I just thought his dominant it was. I thought he was quite boring to watch. That was just my as a impartial fan, of course, who wasn't salty that he beat.
So
yeah.
I got another thing that I wanted to talk about, and that was generally we've kind of accepted that we're coming into a new era of MMA. So the era's changing. We've had the old UFC, when you think ancient UFC, you think, he's crazy and all that stuff. But I don't really think of that as UFC. I kind of think that the UFC really started to get underway around like the Chuck Liddell era.
Yeah.
Because those Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell saved the sport and turned it into like the televised thing that we know, like regularly televised on mainstream television.
If you asked someone off the street to name one MMA fighter, they probably would have said Chuck Liddell, Rampage Jackson, Tito Ortiz.
5-6 years ago, 7-8 years ago, it was Chuck Liddell. I knew Chuck Liddell before I knew like fucking really what the UFC probably was. I knew the Iceman. I can't even tell you why. I think from and I knew Rampage Jackson.
Yeah,
but I think I used to think he was like a WWE wrestler or some shit like that.
He's got the personality for it. It's just he brought so much personality and so much WWE energy to it.
He's having a content like resurgence in his like.
Do you follow him on
online now?
Oh mate, his socials are great. He's so funny.
He was built for that, really. It was like viral.
He was bullying his son.
It was the first like online viral clips of like personality-wise fighter that I can really remember.
Yeah.
So we've got that era, that kind of Chuck Liddell Tito era, and I think after that we've kind of got like the Jose Aldo, the
Anderson Silva
era, GSP era.
Yeah.
I think that's when people were like, wow, now this is now they're real MMA fighters. They just do MMA.
Yeah.
They're that kind of athlete. And then after that, we had guys like, the Conor McGregor era, the Izzy era, Ronda Rousey. Then you had, you guys like Izzy, Robert Whittaker, Romero, and it kind of felt like we now those aren't particularly maybe the best names to mention, but the era in which those guys are from, we kind of felt like we upgraded again.
Yeah.
And then we've had, and guys like Khabib, and now we've got like the Islams, the Volks. And that's the kind of its own era as well. I think that there is a certain difference to where we've been shown a new level of like how good guys are.
Yeah.
To where I think that each generation kind of seems like the champions of this new generation would handle the champions of that division 5 years ago. Yeah. It seems to be about every 5 years, I think.
Yeah. The
sport is so rapidly evolving. It really does seem to be every 5 years.
It's why it's so exciting.
Landscape changes.
Absolutely.
I was trying to explain this to somebody I was doing some work for. It's like it's like in tennis. It's like, well, how much better are these new guys than Nadal, Murray, and Djokovic? And
Roger Federer was there for years.
Roger Federer was there for years and years and years. Nobody in the world could beat this guy for like, I don't know, like 2 decades, pretty much. It seems that. But in MMA, we kind of see a complete overhaul of what we accept to be the greatest fighting ability every 5 years, it seems. Yeah. We're like the guy 5 years, we couldn't imagine anybody, a style that could beat this guy. And then it's like Tyron Woodley. I remember at one point thinking, this guy's fucking unbeatable. He's got the fucking shit locked down. And then Usman comes along, you're like, how the fuck I couldn't even imagine anyone being better than Woodley, and now this guy comes along and trounces him. It's like, who who's going to beat this guy?
He almost
and then
beat
Leon,
GSP's record.
And then people come and can able to fucking put it on Usman, and then it's on another level to it's like, wow, my God, like what's going to be the next step here? And it does seem to be every like 3 to 5 years, the whole landscape completely changes. The whole sport goes to another level. And now we've got the new guys coming through. We've got Taporia, who are taking it to another level, that he's knocking guys out, catching guys who school people on the feet, and knocking out guys who have never been knocked out, who we never imagined to be knocked out, going up a weight class, and sleeping people that look twice his size in a fashion that we've never seen. I mean, the way he carries the power in his frame, it doesn't even make sense.
I like what the Weasel said when he was analysing Ilia Topuria, and the quote that most stuck out is, "We are watching the most complete MMA fighter that we've seen in the sport. Just technically, skill for skill, his striking ability, his defensive wrestling.
Yes.
And this is brilliantly the era that we are just seeing completed MMA fighters. I think they are incredibly well-rounded.
This era that we're sliding into, this new era of MMA, which I keep alluding to, I think we're now going to truly see MMA fighters. People have been saying this, that now we've got guys who are just MMA fighters. They were saying that in the Liddell era.
Yeah.
And I don't think they were right in saying that.
No.
I think that they weren't right in saying that in the McGregor era. They weren't right in saying that in the Izzy era. But now in this new age, I think it's going to truly be accurate to say that we have MMA fighters, and they are complete, and this is the sport they do. Because and I think there's going to be some that are, some that aren't, and maybe we'll be sitting here in 5 years' time and going, okay, well, now they're complete MMA fighters. Because even today in a gym, you go to a gym and you go, okay, let me have a look at the timetable. I can't tell you a single gym that I've ever looked at in at least in a 50-mile radius of where we are. I'm sure it's like this pretty much most places, just, and I'll speak to us why I think it's like this. But you've got the timetable, you'll have a session where it's MMA, but then you'll have a session where it's just Muay Thai, session where it's just no gi, session where it's gi, and then it's all compartmentalized still in this day and age. There's no places where it's just like, okay, well, what do you do here in the gym? What's the timetable? It's like, well, the sessions at this time,
an hour of striking, an hour of defensive grappling.
Yeah, but there's no gyms that we just do MMA.
Yeah.
And we don't ever change it up, because the reason is because they want to sell sessions to as many different people as possible.
Yeah, that's the big point about it.
Some people want to just do Muay Thai, some people want to just do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And so even to this day, you've got guys who are like, yeah, they can do everything, but they're going in there to box. They're going in there to kick Rodriguez, Izzy. They're going in there to wrestle. Still to this day, we've got guys like that.
Yeah.
And I think once we get over that hang up, and we have a predominant amount of gyms that just do MMA, and they don't have classes for this, don't have things like that, it's going to take that, and that's when we're going to see the new era of MMA.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time to break it down and do these things individually.
Yeah.
I think the people who realize that and can kind of stand by the fact that, no, I want to do MMA all the time, who aren't going to waste their time going to gi sessions and no gi sessions, like 25% of their training week.
Yeah.
They're just going to say, I want a gym that will just do all MMA all the time. Those are the guys that are going to go to a complete next level.
Yeah.
But Topuria, if you look at his training setup, he's got a whole thing in his home where he's set it up and he's doing, who knows what kind of shit he's doing, but he's obviously doing it in a very well-rounded fashion. But I think we're going to see that complete MMA fighter come in once the gym culture changes over from the compartmentalization that we've seen.
It also seems like it's a good opportunity for I don't know enough about it in terms of what the landscape's like here in the UK, but to set up almost exclusively mixed martial arts gyms in the way that you're talking about in the UK, because when I think about it in our area, I know that there are...
I have a dream.
The MMA gym that I go to in Newcastle, it's more exclusively Muay Thai. We do grappling sessions as well, but going on to your point, there's an opportunity to set up just a base of MMA.
I would, if I won the lottery tomorrow, I would buy a big unit, somewhere nearby, and I would make a gym, and I'd call it New Era MMA, and all we would do is fucking MMA. I don't care if your kid's like, oh, well, my kid would like to do some boxing. So I don't give a shit. We do MMA. We do nothing but MMA. Every session's MMA. It's very simple. We're just gonna have to take a little pause to fix Johnny's mic again. Okay, we're back in the room.
Wagwan. I would. There is one thing, another part of this podcast that I think is due a little bit of chat, or at least I would like to know your thoughts about it. Is, did you expect John Jones's career to end any other way than the way that it's ended? I don't even want to talk about John fucking Jones. Fucking hate the cunt. Was it going to end any other way than just with a whimper?
I don't want to give the name of John Jones airtime to my 7 listeners. I don't want to give them the satisfaction of the fucking the exposure of my.
And on that bombshell, we'll move on.
No, but seriously, fuck John Jones.
Yeah, fuck John Jones.
Fuck literally everything about John Jones possible. It's just such a shit.
I feel shit for Tom Aspinall in the prime of his career. Like, just not having the time to be active. Like, I feel like
the whole fucking heavyweight division's is coming out of stasis sleep now.
Yeah, but it's like the stasis that he left light heavyweight in, because he'd been popped for steroids multiple times when he was fighting DC and was holding it up. You know, like, I don't know. It's disappointing. I'm glad to see Dominic Reyes get another win at a UFC fight.
Fucking Dominic Reyes.
I know, he's a blast.
Another guy who just hung around and lost a load of times.
He lost a bunch of times, and the other notable loss was against Yuri Prochazka when he got elbowed in the face. But
it annoys me when you see these guys who just kind of hang around and lose, and somehow they just stay in the top 5 and top 10 for ages. And then you've got guys like Jordan Vucenic and George Hardwick, guys from our neck of the woods that go and they come up short against really tough opponents, and they don't even get a proper look into a proper fight in the UFC, which sucks, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware, but there's a guy called Jordan Vucenic, which is a guy from over here who's just like, it's crazy, man, because he puts on absolute clinics over this area of the pond. But
is he in Cage Warriors?
Yeah, he was doing really well in his first fight in the UFC. I think he was on like a Fight Pass fight, I think, and he was doing great. But he took the guy down. I think he got submitted or something. That it really sucks to see, because he's a guy so dominant over here on this circuit, and unfortunately he's just come up short over the pond. But the thing that definitely sucks it was when George Hardwick had a Dana White Contender Series fight, and he was matched up with a guy who's really good. It's a guy who I watched the fight, and I could say, oh, fuck's sake, I have to give George this guy first, because it was a guy who I could see this guy becoming a potential champion.
Really? You rated him that highly?
Yeah.
Wow.
The guy that he fought it was a very tough first fight to try to get a look in on the UFC. He was a very good guy.
Yeah.
He's from that kind of area of the world where people are very good at wrestling.
Russia.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I'm not exactly too sure, but you know.
Aggressive sambo wrestling.
Non-mustache having but big beard having gentleman type shit.
We all know the kind.
Yeah.
But but I think I'm looking forward to you potentially interviewing these guys.
Yeah, that would be good. That'd be good.
Or just chatting with them on. But like, I don't know, you've got a good platform here to raise the platform of some fighters.
It's a good potential. It's got good potential.
Yeah, it's got potential.
It's got potential. But so I to be honest, I've run out of all the topics that I've had prepared. Was there anything else that you wanted to maybe stick in and cover?
Oh, there's one last thing I'd like to ask about.
That's going to be horrendous.
Oh, it's not what. You can find out. UFC White House Fight Night. Did you see this?
Christ.
Did you see this shit?
I did. And you know what?
What's your thoughts on it?
I fucking love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
It's going to be great, dude. I like to think that it's going to be an outdoor thing.
Mate, the thing I love about it the most is that it's like, because of Donald Trump and his ties to the UFC and the promotion of kind of this American company, and the whole event is just going to be headlined by like non-American dominant
there's no
fighters.
champions.
There are no American champions
Then what are you
left.
going to do? Sell Colby Covington?
I know, bro.
Absolutely wrecked by JDM or something. I don't know what
You
the
know what's a good
matchups are.
idea? What's a good idea we could do is coming up with a fight card of who we'd want on that fight card. We could match up fighters who should be on the.
Well, who's Trump going to fight? Trump versus Putin would be a good one, but I know who I'd be putting my money on, unfortunately.
Keir Starmer's going to get wrecked.
Keir Starmer would fucking lose to the fucking
Emmanuel Macron
anyone.
will just dominate him in a very uncouth and French manner, I'd imagine.
That'd be, yeah.
I think everyone in this country would like to just watch Keir Starmer just get starched.
So obviously you got Conor McGregor coming out of the woodworks. He wants to fight on it. If you were to match Conor McGregor up with somebody to fight on the White House card, who would you pick him to fight?
Oh, it'd be quite. You know what? For the meme, it would be quite funny just to, after all this time, to give it to Michael Chandler, and then Michael Chandler loses.
I'd love to see McGregor come back and just starch Michael Chandler in the first round in a really kind of way that it's like, after all that time, the fight lasted 7 seconds or something like that. Just like fucking Cerrone's them even worse.
Yeah,
that would be fucking hilarious.
Hoists an American flag over his carcass. And says Free Island.
Do you know what's coming up? I think there's a Cage Warriors Newcastle coming up soon. You know,
mate, are we going to finally go to a Cage Warriors?
I would love to do so. I'd love to do so. I'm pretty sure one of the MFA lads is fighting on it. I think it's Harry. Actually, Harry.
Oh, really?
Harry Hardwick's the main title fight. So that'd be great. Maybe we can do some media while we're there with them. That'd be great.
Oh man.
You've
got me thinking of notions now.
Notions.
Well, you've given me notions.
Yeah, I'll give you conniptions.
You've given me some conniptions.
No, that'd be real cool. Imagine if we could get in backstage and get some footage and stuff like that. That'd be amazing.
Will.
If I can get a media pass.
Bro.
That's all it's about.
We will forge some media passes.
Yeah,
and
we'll just turn up in high vis. No fucking questions,
Yeah, no fucking questions, mate.
So, I mean, I don't really have anything else I want to cover. That's kind of, I think that's episode 1 in the books, really.
Yeah, I think it's pretty successful and a few mic leaning issues.
I wonder if anyone's going to make it through at the end of this. If you have made it through to the end of this video, please do comment in the comment section. What should we have in the comments say? I don't know.
Get your flat caps out for the boys.
Yeah. Right, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, listening. If you did, in fact, listen, and hopefully we'll be back with another one in a fortnight or so. Predominantly after something actually fucking interesting's happened with the UFC, which seems to be like once every three months. But maybe we'll cover some more domestic stuff. I'd like to do that.
100%.
I'd like to stay true to the regionals and kind of get a bit more in tune with what's going on over this side of the fucking pond instead of just worrying what the UFC's doing and not fucking doing.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, thanks for it, and we'll fucking see you again, cans.
Peace.
Fuck you.